Remember this abomination? It's what Vegeta looked like in the Dragon Ball Z anime before his official color scheme was finalized in the manga. Vegeta was set to make his on-screen debut in May of 1989, but it wouldn't be until June of that year that we'd see him in one of the full-color manga pages. Since all of his appearances up to that point were in black and white, Toei Animation had to improvise. Many fans have expressed their exasperation and confusion as to why Toei would create this bizarre, seemingly random color palette. But it might not be as random as you think. And that's because I'm not even sure Toei created this palette in the first place. This is the Ultimate Fighter Card Battle Power Guide found in Weekly Shonen Jump number 31 from July 1989. Wouldn't you know it, there's a color image of Vegeta that looks shockingly similar to his anime counterpart. Now I don't know about you, but this seems way too similar to be a coincidence. Is it possible Toei was inspired by this design? But wait, didn't I say the anime episode aired 2 months earlier? That should mean the guide copied the anime, right? Intuitively, yes, that would make sense, and it may very well be the case, but I still think it might be the other way around. Let's go back in time for a minute. Imagine you're the artist working on this episode, and you've been assigned to give Vegeta his anime color palette, but your only reference material is a few black and white manga panels. What do? Well, the logical thing would be to copy Raditz's official colors, since those already exist. In fact, that's exactly what they did for Nappa in this very same episode. His palette matches Raditz's almost perfectly, and they'd even go on to do this again with the so-called Phantom Saiyans from that one filler episode. So why wouldn't they do the same thing for Vegeta unless they thought they had a better source of information? For those of you who are too young to remember printed magazines, there are a few things that make the exact dates largely unreliable. For one thing, the date printed on the cover is often much later than the actual day it would have hit store shelves. So the July 17th issue with the Power Level Guide may have come out much earlier than that. In addition, articles like this are often written well in advance of their intended release. Print media moves slow, and with all the other series and articles that are in the same magazine, you gotta plan ahead. As evidence, despite the previous week's issue of Jump containing a measured battle power of 21,000, the numbers in this guide only cover data up to the Nappa fight, with the final number being Goku's power of 8,000 from the May 16th issue, 1 full week before the infamous anime episode aired. Factoring in the cover date discrepancy, plus any time it would have taken to do the graphic design work and fill out all the data, it's not out of the question that the guide could have been conceived of and partially implemented before the episode had gotten around to coloring in Vegeta. Almost all of the colors on this page deviate from their known anime and manga color palettes. We've got purple Raditz, lavender Crane Hermit, red King Kai, and blonde Bulma. Bulma's had an official palette since early Dragon Ball, so it's likely whoever did the graphic art for this guide used whatever print-safe colors they felt like at the time, because they definitely weren't looking at the anime for the rest of these. Compare that to the anime team, who had a clear motive to look for any hint about Vegeta's intended color palette. Keep in mind, the anime is also a weekly production, and they are flying by the seat of their pants just as much as the manga team. It's conceivable that, in the rush to get something out at the last minute, Toei collaborated with the folks at Shonen Jump, and through some misunderstanding, ended up copying the green and orange Vegeta from a work-in-progress version of the guide. Since Vegeta's chest piece was white instead of Raditz's black, maybe they thought using something vaguely official was better than guessing completely. Now, does that mean it was a good decision? No, but it's a decision that at least had some logic behind it. Granted, these events would have had to fall in an extremely slim time frame for it to work, so I'm not saying this is what definitely happened. But if this theory is correct, it would mean Toei didn't just pull the design out of thin air, and would explain why this one artistic decision was so different from everything else. Even if I'm completely wrong, I still think there's gotta be some connection between these two designs. Now, as for why they made his hair red for this scene, you got me. After all, everyone knows Vegeta's hair color is actually black. Or brown. Is it purple? Alright, now wait a minute.